Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up podcast. We're back in. We're on our couch. We got our little stopwatches, our binoculars, the Couch Scout series, running backs, and tight ends today. We're going to give you our top 10 of each. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up podcast. While you're at it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, review the show, rate the show, all that good stuff. We appreciate the support. Nicholas, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Ready to talk running backs. I love watching them. Tight ends. I do love watching tight ends, but man, these tight ends classes rough. I prefer the other tight end. Hey, yo.
I like the tight end class.
I like the top three a lot, and then after that, you can kind of throw in like fours are. I don't know. It's fine. It's not really. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, and I like the tight end class a lot more than the running back class. I'll say that.
Oh, well. Yeah. Good God. I think they're almost on par. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I really like the tight end class, but
I would say tight end 2 and 3 are way... tight end 2 is definitely better than tight end or running back 2, for sure. I would definitely would admit to that. I think 2 tight ends are going to go very early in the draft, where I don't see another running back going close to the... I think one's going to go...
Not unless you ask Daniel Jeremiah. He had Jadarian Price going in round 1.
I can't. I think one other running back, maybe 2, is going to go in the top 100 besides Jeremiah Love. I don't see more than 2 besides, not counting Jeremiah Love. So I think 3 max in the top 100.
Yeah, with Jeremiah Love, I would say, yeah, I would set the line at 3.5. I think that's a great
I would say, yeah, 3.5, 100%. Yeah. Is there going to be a 4th one drafted? I would say no if I had to put money on it.
Yeah. Well, let's just get right into it then. Let's dive right into this. No real news we need to touch base on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the mock madness as we enter March Madness here, college basketball hoops.
And March almost over, by the way. It's I do not like it. That shit should start really like March 1st should start March Madness.
It ends the first week of April, so it is half of March. But anyway, we got the mock madness series. We did the AFC and the NFC South on Tuesday. We're going to do probably the AFC West and the NFC West. So those will be some fun ones to touch base on. And then Thursday, we'll have another Couch Scout series next week. Position to be determined. But let's...
It's a weird position. I don't think I scouted that one.
Yeah, it's just Joker players. We're just pulling the Sean Payton rule. Like, what guys play a position in college?
Who are the best Jokers? Yeah.
Yep, they're playing a different position in the NFL. So let's get to it here. Screen shares up. Let's view the slideshow. Maybe. If it wants to pop up, here we go. You see it. Running backs, tight ends, top 10 of each. So I brought up previously, we're going to change the format a little bit. We're just going to give you our 10 through 6, and then we're just really going to talk about the guys in our top 5, just for time restrictions, stuff like that. If you want to hear thoughts on the guys in our 6 through 10s, or someone that you think should be in our top 10 and isn't, put something in the comments. I will gladly comment, reply, and give you reasoning as to why, at least for me. So let's start it. My running back 10 through 6. At 10, I have Jaden Ott from Oklahoma. I just can't quit it. I loved him at Cal. He did not play much at all this year, but I'm shooting for upside in a class that doesn't have any. So that's why I got Jaden Ott at 10. At 9, I got Nicholas Singleton of Penn State. At 8, Seth McGowan from Kentucky. 7, Damon Claiborne from Wake Forest. And at my running back 6, converted wide receiver, Adam Randall. He's intriguing. Like I said, I'm shooting for upside here, and that's why I'm going there with him. 6'3", big frame. So that's why he ended up as my RB6. And your top 10.
I have all of those guys in the same around the tier. I think the lowest I have one of them is Jaden Ott at 14. So I definitely see them being right outside the top 10, or if not in the top 10. So I definitely get that.
Yeah.
right, so my number 10, Jamari Taylor, running back from Virginia. 9, Desmond Claiborne, Wake Forest running back, who you have in your top 10. 8, Seth McGowan, who you have at 8 as well. So that's pretty cool. I love when you have guys lined up. 7, I have Nick Singleton, a little bit higher than you have him, but around the same ballpark. And then 6, I have his running back, Katron Allen, Penn State running backs. He's the guy I can't quit. He's such a good college
Fat
running
man.
back. He's a large boy. And I get people might not think it's gonna transition to the NFL per se, but I get not having him in your top 10. But he is such a good college running back. I have to give him his chance. It's very similar to the running back Miami drafted last season. I'm blanking on his name. Oklahoma State's running back who was really good 2 years ago.
Ollie Gordon.
Yes, it's Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I see a lot of the similarities in Ollie Gordon where I see a really good running back at the end of the day. And yeah, it might not be a true NFL style running back, but Ollie Gordon fell in the draft and he looked way better than anyone really thought he could have last season with Miami. So I'm willing to give Katron Allen a shot here this season to see what happens, but he is definitely a lot of question marks, so I get why you do not have him in your top 10.
Yeah, Katron Allen more productive than Nick Singleton in college.
Yeah.
My thing with him is I just don't see. I think he's going to have a decent NFL career. I just don't see him as an RB1. He's just going to float around RB2, RB3s, probably on 4 or 5 teams. He'll just always have a job. Think of Cam Akers. He's just always on a team. And that's kind of how I see Katron Allen. I think he'll be a good coach one day. He's a smart football player. I just think the lack of explosive, it's just not going to overly translate. But I do think he's the best bet of some of these guys to have just an extended career, just because he's a smart player and he's just going to always find his way onto a team.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. He definitely has a very limited ceiling, but I do like what he would bring to a running back room for sure.
Yeah. All right, top 5. At 5, this is a shocker. I have Jadarian Price from Notre Dame. A lot of people have him second back in the class, so we'll go into him. At 4, I have Jonah Coleman from Washington. At 3, I have Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. 2, Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas. And at 1, obviously, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. Shocking, absolutely no one. At the top of the board.
Definitely didn't see Jeremiah Love being the top spot there. That's crazy. We have an identical top 5, just different spots. I have Jonah Coleman, 5, Washington running back. Jadarian Price, Notre Dame running back 4. So we have 4 and 5 switched, but then 3 through 1 is the same. It's Emmett Johnson, running back, Nebraska. Mike Washington Jr., running back, Arkansas. And then 1, obviously, is Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame. So, where are we diving in? Are we diving in on Coleman or Price first?
We're going to talk about Jadarian Price first.
Okay.
I looked up consensus this time around, so you'll see it there.
Yeah, he has to be RB, 2 or 3?
He is RB2. Anybody watching on YouTube or Spotify, if you're watching the actual video, you'll see I added consensus there, which I didn't have in the wide receiver episode. But Jadarian Price, 5'10 and 5'8", so he's almost 5'11", 203 pounds. He's 22 years old. You see all of his measurements, 4.49 40, not terrible. 1.61 10-yard split though, so lacks that initial burst. His explosive stuff wasn't terrible. 10-foot broad, 21 bench reps, 35-inch vert. Productive kick returner. He had 2 kick return touchdowns this past year. Scoring machine, 11 touchdowns in 2025, 7 in 2024. But as the backup to Jeremiah Love, only 746 yards and then 674 yards this year. No real receiving game work, and that's kind of my gripe with Price, because he's got the build to be the pass catching back, but he saw 15 targets in his college career, so it worries
I would say that's what
he doesn't catch the ball.
All the other guys in our top 5, I would say, are really good receiving options.
I trust them as pass catchers. Yeah.
Yeah, I trust all 4 of the other guys, and I would say Price is definitely the worst out of the top 5. I'll happily admit that for sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also worry about the fact that like he's backing up Jeremiah Love. So defenses, if Jeremiah Love's not out there, they can kind of tone down a little bit. And I think that might have opened things up for Jadarian Price. I don't want to take away from his talent because he is good. But I'm
He's
just
good.
not on board with like where everyone has him. Like I brought up at the beginning of the show, Daniel Jeremiah has him going first round, and there's a lot of second round buzz with him too. And I'm just not there. Like I think he's a third, fourth round guy, and that's how I kind of feel about all these backs that aren't Jeremiah Love. But he doesn't work well between the tackles. He's very quick to cut it outside because he's got the speed to do that. But that doesn't always translate. So I don't see his vision consistently on tape, that it worries me that he'll translate to the NFL as just this one cut, hope he hits a home run, sort of how the Niners used Raheem Mostert years ago. And if he ends up in a Raheem Mostert role and a career, that's a good career because he's just getting impact touches and scoring. But I think his NFL value, the majority of his career, is going to be in the return game. Like I just don't trust him as like a committee back. Like even there, like as an RB2, like I'm fine with him as my backup running back, but like timeshare wise, like I don't want a 60-40 split with this guy and my other running back. So I think his value is more so special teams and just, third and longs, and you're just trying to, just quick cut a run. Hopefully takes a big chunk play, gets a big play, breaks it off. But great acceleration. I just worry about his vision and the fact that like he profiles as a pass catcher, but has no real experience as one.
Yeah, no, I would agree to that for sure. And I would say his ceiling would be an RB2, probably where it would be a 60-40 split in favor of another running back. But I think he's going to be a little bit more better than just a special teams guy. But he does obviously bring special team like talent to the game, so I do like that. He's physical through contact, which I found on a lot of his runs. He runs through arm tackles, always falling forward for extra yards. So is exceptional patience, setting up blocks before exploding through the crease with sudden like acceleration. He has really good burst, which I really do. I like it at the end of the day. Elite contact balance, which I love. His legs are always going forward.
He's always moving. Yeah.
His legs do not stop. And that's a really good trait for a running back, because if your legs aren't stopping, you're going to keep moving. Very Ahmad Bradshaw like for the Giants way back in the day. Like that guy was constantly moving his feet, getting extra yards. Carries legit second level speed. I do like that. I get his 40 wasn't great, but I think he's way faster on tape than he runs in a straight line.
You see the 40 with the slower 10-yard. The long speed is there.
Yeah, for sure. I get he doesn't have a lot of receptions, but I found that his hands are like smooth and natural. I think he'll be able to be used as a receiver. They just didn't do it a lot. So I am on the fence about that one, but I think it has some type of potential. I'll give him that.
Okay.
And I think he has outstanding vision though. They're like his cutback lanes are nasty. He's creating opportunities like naturally. And that's another thing
if he can cut it to the outside, he's gone.
It's dangerous.
That's the best part of his game.
Yeah. 100%. Once he kicks it to the outside and he's able to get around an offensive line, he's like you said, he's gone. He's past the linebackers. He's a threat to the safeties because you got to play back. I think he could be a really good RB2 in the NFL. I don't think he has RB1 potential though. I don't see him as RB2 in the class. I don't see that.
He's like a poor man's Travion Henderson. That's how I see him.
Travion Henderson had like elite reception ability. I wouldn't say he's.
I'm talking
but the
like
way he plays
like
is very similar.
The running basis of his game.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that for sure. Yeah, he's not the kind of athlete though.
Yeah, we're both lower consensus right now. He's RB2. You have him at 4. I have him at 5. I think I don't see him as a top 64 guy. I'm more comfortable with him in the 70 to 100 range. Come draft day.
I think the earliest I would take another running back would be late round 2. I think if I'm one of those teams late in round 2, I would be comfortable enough to take any of the other RBs. But like early round 2, middle round 2, I don't think they're that talented. But late round 2, early round 3, running backs are going to start to go.
Yeah. Jonah Coleman, senior running back from Washington, complete opposite, big body, thick, 2Cs, built like a bowling ball,
Dude,
5'8", 220.
his center of gravity is insane, bro.
And what is crazy about his game is he profiles as a pass catcher.
Yeah.
Like, you see guys his build, they're just, okay, that is a pound the hole, just bruiser back.
Hey,
Not Jonah Coleman. You see the stats there: 1,000 yards in 2024, 10 touchdowns, 23 grabs this past year. Not as great on the ground, 758, but he had 15 touchdowns and 30 catches for 350 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do any work at the combine, but yeah, like Jonah Coleman, like I love the fact that like he's like a human bowling ball. He's just a thumper back, but he also is a pass catcher, like you said. His center of gravity, his point of contact, like his balance is off the charts. Like he pinballs off defenders really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be a great goal line back. Like initially, I think that's like his best role. Like he kind of like reminds me of Mark Ingram, and I think that's like his high end like comp NFL career is just Mark Ingram, who's a 700-yard kind of guy, but double digit touchdowns are in the realm every year. I think he profiles more as like a higher end RB2 than Price does right off the bat. But Price's, speed and upside, I think, does top Jonah Coleman. I don't think Jonah Coleman really has that great of a ceiling. I think he's a good floor play at running back. But yeah, I love the way he just grinds, runs through the tackles. He can, handle the workload. Good contact balance. Good pass catcher. So the speed's not there, obviously. He's not really explosive. He's not going to outrun teams or outrun players, outrun safeties. And despite being a good pass catcher, he's not really that route tree wise. It's just a lot of dump offs and just underneath stuff. There's no real route tree for him. But third round, same with Price. Like it depends. Like if you already have a speed guy and you need a power element to your running game, I think Jonah Coleman's a fine selection there in the third round.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You mentioned him being a goal line back. He had 34 career rushing touchdowns in college. And it really shows that his pad level around the line of scrimmage and his short area stuff, like he plays so low to the ground, it's really hard to bring him down on like first contact. And the offensive line at Washington was never really consistent, and he was super productive constantly. So that should speak for itself. I totally agree. Mentioned his low center of gravity, dude. He plays like a bowling ball. Outstanding feel for zone concepts. He's always finding like holes that are developing, and he hits them hard, like you said. He doesn't turn the ball over. He had one fumble on his almost near 400 touches, so that's just he's going to get every coach is going to trust this kid late in games because he's not going to turn the ball over, and that's what you want out of your running back to eat the clock. Like you want to be able to give him the ball over and over again without the fear of it turning over. His contact balance is insane. Love that. His legs are always moving forward again. Soft, natural hands out of the backfield. I really think he has the potential to be a decent receiving running back. Mentioned the patchwork offensive line at Washington. His short area burst is really good through the crease. He reaches full speed in like 2 to 3 steps, and then he's rolling. Once he's downhill, he's gone.
Yeah,
and
good luck bringing him down. Yeah,
exactly. And
I also love that he was productive at 2 schools. 1,000 yards 2 years ago at Washington, 758 this year. But the previous year at Arizona, he came over with the head coach. He had 870 yards, had 5 touchdowns, and 25 catches. So 2 school production, 2 schools that they're. One's a Big Ten school, so that's Washington. Playing in the Big Ten, you're playing all these great defenses. Pac-12, a little bit more cupcakey than the Big Ten, but still a high-level FBS program. But you have him RB5, I have him RB4. He is the consensus RB5, so we're pretty right on consensus with him. But it wouldn't surprise me if he's like the third back take. I think NFL teams are just going to love his power bruiser element that he might go a little before consensus has him.
I agree. It wouldn't shock me if he's honestly the second running back picked in this class. Like I get Pierce is getting all this love. I think there's a chance Coleman goes before Johnson and Washington, and I think maybe even Pierce.
They're all in the same bucket to me. Pierce, Price, Johnson, Washington, and Coleman, all kind of fall in that. I'm happy with them mid to late third round. I think they're good value there. And
Yeah.
let's move on to Emmett Johnson, redshirt junior from Nebraska. 5'10", 202. Big hands, almost 10-inch hands. He is 22 years old. He ran a 4.56 40, a 0th percentile. But he had a good 10-yard split, 159. Vert was fine. He had, not great on the explosive 10-foot, 0th percentile on the bench reps, 0th percentile on the 3-cone, but a 75th percentile in the shuttle. So he's interesting. Like on tape, the tape athleticism and gameplay speed look good. The testing didn't. And I said this to you off air. I was like, do you know why we like Emmett Johnson? It's because he's Bucky Irving. And anyone that's listened and watched the show throughout the beginning, like, knows that we love Bucky Irving. We both have Emmett Johnson RB3. He's the consensus RB4 right now. 2024, he had 600 yards and a touchdown, 39 grabs and 2 touchdowns. In addition, and then his past year, he blew up 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 46 grabs, 3 touchdowns, almost 400 yards through the air as well. Like, he's got soft hands. His running motion is a little herky-jerky. Like, sometimes I think he thinks he's pretty quick, but,
he's trying. He's trying, man. Like,
he's more elusive than fast. He has that. He has a good dead leg that kind of, he can make defenders miss. He doesn't have the home run speed, which is, typical. Like, you see that with the testing. But he's this guy that could just chunk run, 15, 20-yard runs. He's just not going to be the guy that turns that 20 into a 50, 60-yard run. He's, a consistent, he's upright runner, which that's fine. He's going to get hit, but he's got a decent contact balance. He's just really good in space. Like, he reminds me of Chester Taylor, which is a crazy throwback.
That is a wild pull that not many people are going to get. Yeah.
Chester Taylor. I just think that as a Vikings fan, Chester Taylor was a running back who we had before, Adrian Peterson, who was just he had no elite traits, but he was just a good football player.
His contact balance is better than what it should be for a guy 5'10", 202. Because he pinballs off guys, dude, and he runs through arm tackles, and he keeps his legs churning, dude.
It's 68 forced missed tackles.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you watch his tape in 2025, dude, it's phenomenal, dude. Like, he is so much fun.
He's Bucky Irving. He's more creative than fast.
Yeah, no, I would agree to that for sure. He's a legitimate weapon out of the backfield, like passing wise. 46 receptions last year. His route tree and his hands are smooth. He's definitely gonna be more than a check down option at the next level. He's a slippery ball carry too, dude. Like, he gets skinny around the line, and he just knows how to find the right holes in the creases. And he's an electric low body agility. His cuts are dangerous. His jump cut ability to bounce around tackle box is consistent. I just love his tape, dude. Like, I couldn't quit it. His contact balance is better than what he should be, what we talked about. He does demand high volumes, and that's what he needs. He needs to be like the workhorse back in an offense to really get the most out of him. I don't know if a team's going to be willing to give him the workhorse back early, so he's probably going to have to earn it like Bucky did. But at the end of the day, I think he could be a really good RB2, maybe even just like a fill-in RB1 if a team's willing to give him a chance. But
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he has like a 3-4 year run as like a good NFL starting running back and then kind of tails off. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like, I wanted to bring up his wide receiver stuff. Like, his ball tracking is incredible. Like, there was so many times on tape where like there was just a deep shot to him and he just hauls it in, and I'm like, man, like, I just think his game really translates well to the NFL. He forces tackles. He's creative in space. Like, he's a trust the tape player. Don't trust the testing.
I would agree to that.
Mike Washington Jr., the senior running back from Arkansas, 6'1", 223, big body. Huge arms. He's got offensive lineman arms, almost 34 inches, 100th percentile. He ran a 4.33, 100 percentile, 1.51, 10-yard split, 100 percentile. Explosive measures, 39-inch vert, 10-foot, 8-inch broad. He's the opposite of Emmett Johnson. he was actually in 2024, him and Seth McGowan both on New Mexico State, and Seth McGowan was actually the starter and outperformed Mike Washington. But as the backup, 725 yards, 8 touchdowns, and then he goes to Arkansas, goes to the SEC, 1,000-yard runner, 8 touchdowns, 28 grabs, another touchdown. So the pass workability is there.
I agree.
It does need work, but it's growing. I think with more reps, more time. But that speed, that 4.3. That didn't show up on tape. I didn't see that on tape.
Dog.
And then he ran, and I'm like, whoof. Oh, daddy. He does run upright. He fumbles a ton, which super frustrating. 7 fumbles the last 2 years. With the upright style, he's not really shifty with his legs. He's more of a hit the hole and go.
He's a one cut. He's
probably
a one
why
cut
I like him so much, because like it's very similar to Jalen Wright, who I loved coming out of Tennessee. I know that's not a great comparison.
No, he's better.
But he's got better vision than Jalen Wright. Like
Yeah.
he had patience. Like he'll actually be able to sit, wait. Jalen Wright, Tennessee played so spread out that the holes were there for him to just immediately. There was no vision needed, but Mike Washington. He's I think he has the upside to grow into an RB1, and like if I'm Seattle and I'm set on taking a running back at 64, I would take Mike Washington over Jadarian Price. Like he's the one running back I think I'm content with taking and reaching for in the second round. Like
he's
I
more
love his ceiling.
He's more Ken Walker than any other of the guys. I think he gets huge chunk plays. He led the SEC in 20-yard plays with 16 of them this season, and that's coming against high-level talent in the SEC. He's a rare size of speed. He's a rare size and speed combination. He's huge and fast. Elite straight line speed that's going to translate to the next level. He runs downhill, turning out yards after contact. He punishes defensive backs. He's a one-cut runner, like you said, which I don't typically love, but I do like his vision at the end of the day. So he plant and goes, and he's so fast. He's never really behind the line of scrimmage long. Like, he doesn't waste time. He always knows where he needs to get to, and he's so quick getting there. Very loose hips, smooth lateral movements, allowing him to guide through interior traffic. Reliable hands on check down, which I love. And he finishes physically, dude. He drives through arms tackles, falling forwards to make sure he's getting first downs. So just like the combination of his combine blow up, and then he had a really good Senior Bowl performance, I think Mike Washington is on track to be a really good NFL running back.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think if there's a back, I'm taking day 2, like I said, or round 2. It is Mike Washington. I agree with everything you said. Like my main concern is the late breakout. He didn't really have a big year until his 5th year, and the fumbles. I'm not worried about the tight running situation, but the fumbles are definitely a concern for me.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the right running back coach and the right coaching staff, you can fix fumbles. We've seen it. Like Adrian Peterson had a fumbling problem that was fixed. Tiki Barber had a fumbling problem that was fixed. That is a thing that is very coachable. So I'm not overly worried about the fumbles, but at the end of the day, I get it is a concern because you're turning over the ball. You're not going to get carries because that's how coaching works. If you turn the ball over, you're going to lose your carries. You're going to lose the trust of the coaching staff. So it's something he has to work on 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. The screen share went down, but obviously, the next running back is Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. He tested way better than I thought he would.
6 foot, 212. Good size. I don't have an age on Jeremiah Love written down.
21.
But
I know he'll be 21.
Yeah, he's young.
He might be 20. Yeah. He is 20 currently. 4.36 40, 1.5 10-yard split, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 2024, 1,100 yards as Notre Dame made it to the championship, 17 touchdowns. Good pass catcher. Also had another 2 through the air there. This past season took a little bit more of a workload. Almost had 200 carries, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, another 27 grabs, 3 touchdowns. So 21 touchdowns from Jeremiah Love. He's the consensus RB1. He's your RB1. He's my RB1. We loved Ashton Jeanty last year. I have the identical same grade on Jeremiah Love as I do Ashton Jeanty, and I think if both of them were in this class, or if Love was in last, I can't really put Love in last year's class because 2024 I wouldn't have taken Love over Jeanty, but 2025 Jeremiah Love I liked more than 2024 Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I have those guys very close. I also have I had Mario and Hampton in the same exact spot as I do Jeanty and Love. I loved Hampton coming out of college. But Love is a really good prospect, dude. He's got home run speed. He can score from any spot on the field, which you love. Outstanding contact balance for a guy with his speed profile. He absorbs hits and just keeps moving. Soft hands, natural ball movement. His tracking the ball skill is amazing. He's a legitimate weapon in the pass catching game. Patient runner, you love
true
it.
True 3-down back. True 3-down feature 100%. Bell cow back. Yep.
Like he has like the bell cow ability, but I think he's only had like games where he's went over 20 carries 3 times in his college career. Like they really didn't let him like be that guy, but I think his body can take it, and I think he has the ability to be a true 3-down bell cow kind of running back. He runs with more power than his frame suggests, which I absolutely love. He's willing to fight for extra yards. His ball security is outstanding. 1 fumble on nearly 450 carries and 60-some receptions. So he's always touching the ball. He doesn't turn it over. Again, that is going to gain the trust of a coaching staff. So things he does need to work on as a running back would be pass protection. He work on pass protection for sure.
You could say that about all 5 of these dudes.
100%. But no, I'm just because I get it. Like we're just glazing Jeremiah Love, and his route tree is also weak. I don't think he has a developed route tree. I think he could use a little more development in that. But again, he's 20 years old with not a ton of experience. Like I said, he wasn't getting like a ton of carries, under 20 most games. But when you give this kid the reins and the rock consistently on 4 quarters in the NFL football, he's going to be good. He's going to be fun. And I get people back, well, Jeanty struggled. Look what happened. Jeanty fell into a bad situation. There's a really good chance that Jeremiah Love falls to the Titans, who have been putting good work this offseason.
Yeah,
the Giants have been putting, again, a good offseason. Maybe he even falls to Kansas City at 9 or New Orleans at 8, which I don't think is going to happen. But there's a lot of good teams in the top 10 where Jeremiah Love can fall, and I think he's going to thrive his rookie season.
Yeah, I think if he falls out of the top 5, teams are calling the Cleveland Browns at 6, and they're trying to move up.
I would agree. Yeah.
And Cleveland, who the favorite for them probably is Monroe Freeling, the left tackle. They could probably get him later. So moving out of that spot makes sense. But
makes sense.
I think my favorite part of Jeremiah Love's game is his footwork. He has some of the best footwork I've ever watched as a running back. He reminds me so much, and this is a high comp. This is high, and you're gonna love him. Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, my boy!
I see so much of Le'Veon Bell's game.
His patience is there too. He will sit and wait, and then
he's just
bam,
not as good a receiver as Le'Veon Bell, but he's 20 years old. That'll develop.
I think it could develop.
Yeah,
I think that could develop into that. Le'Veon Bell was a really, really good pass catcher coming out, but I think he could develop into that for sure.
Yeah, I think we're in for a superstar here. It's nice to have 2 superstar kind of caliber running backs. I know Jeanty's year was bad last year, but coming out, like you can't deny that the tape Ashton Jeanty provided wasn't, worthy of that praise we gave him. Same falls here for Jeremiah Love.
For sure. Yeah, and he had such a good season for Notre Dame, dude. 18-some touchdowns. I get they didn't make the playoffs, which would have been like amazing to watch Love play a little bit more, but what we got to see was outstanding. So shout out Jeremiah Love. He's going to be, when we do our big boards, he's going to be probably the guy we're talking about last or damn near it. So he's good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So recapping our top 10 running backs, at 10, I had Jaden Ott from Oklahoma, Nicholas Singleton from Penn State at 9, Seth McGowan from Kentucky at 8, Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest at 7, Adam Randall, Clemson at 6, Jadarian Price, Notre Dame at 5, Jonah Coleman, Washington at 4, Emmett Johnson, Nebraska at 3, Mike Washington Jr., Arkansas at 2, Jeremiah Love at 1 as my RB1. The 2 in your list that I didn't have, Katron Allen, he was my RB12, and Jamari Taylor was my RB15. And then the 2 for you had Jaden Ott at 15 and Adam Randall at 13. You want to round out your top 10, and then we'll do an ad read and move on to tight ends.
Hell yeah. 10, I have Jamari Taylor, running back, Virginia. 9, Desmond Claiborne, Wake Forest. 8, Seth McGowan, Kentucky. 7, Nick Singleton, Penn State. 6, Katron Allen, Penn State as well. 5, Jonah Coleman, Washington. 4, Jadarian Price, Notre Dame. 3, Emmett Johnson, Nebraska. 2, Mike Washington Jr., Arkansas, and then 1, of course, Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame. The only blue chip prospect running back in this draft class, and it is not close.
Yeah,
the only first round running back.
Gap. Yeah, before the ad read, I'll put you on the spot here. Obviously, this class is nowhere near as good as last year. The 2024 running back class or 2025 running back class was insane. The 2024 running back class that had Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Jonathan Brooks, Jalen Wright, Bucky Irving, those guys. Yeah. Better than this class, or would you take this class?
No,
obviously,
I would.
That class didn't have a Jeremiah Love. So
yeah, I would take this class. You have the Jeremiah Love in this class, and I think Mike Washington, Emmett Johnson, Pierce, and Coleman are all on par with Trey Benson and all those other guys that were drafted at the top of that draft class. So I think the top 5 guys have RB2 to RB1 potential. After the top 5 is where you really get a lot of question marks. I think that's why we have the same top 5.
Yep. I agree. I think those 5 guys are kind of the established dudes, and consensus sees it that way as well. And then after that, there's 8 guys that kind of just fall into that
who you
bucket.
could have 6 through 15, 100%.
And it's really just trying to roster construction. What kind of back are you looking for? Are you shooting for upside? You shooting for, consistency like Katron Allen, you're getting a consistent runner, or you shoot for upside like Jaden Ott, who had proven work at Cal and then hasn't done anything the last 2 years, stuff like that. Or you take a project like an Adam Randall, who's 6'3", he's got the body to be a huge running back, but he was a receiver and he's not a good pass catcher. So it's really strange, his dynamic there. But before we move on to the tight ends, because Adam Randall, I'd move him to tight end. He's got the frame to be that H-back tight end as a running back. Let's shout out our affiliates over at W Energy and Finley Hats. W Energy, it's good, clean energy. No artificial dyes, no sweeteners, none of that stuff. It's jitterless. You're not going to crash like you get from Big Energy. Not with Dubby. No. They got a ton of flavors. They dropped Rainbow Sherbet. They have a strawberry margarita out as well, and they're dropping new flavors here in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for those. Use the code DRAFTEDUP, and you'll get a 10% discount anytime you use it. You can find them at dubby.gg or download the app through your Apple App Store or your Google Play Store. Just search Dubby, D-U-B-B-Y. Use the code DRAFTEDUP for 10% off. Be better. Eat that dub with Dubby Energy. And then Finley Hats. Their hats are built for good times and long times. If your hat's damaged or destroyed, they'll replace it or repair it absolutely free of charge. They have free shipping across the United States. They do weekly drops every Friday. They got the cool interchangeable strings. They got pockets on the inside. If you don't want to carry your wallet, you can throw some cash in there. They got the interchangeable pins. Ton of cool designs. You see them here if you're ever watching the show. I usually have a hat on every week representing Finley Hats. Use the link in the description. You'll get 15% off your first purchase. They got snapbacks, dad hats, beanies, all sorts of stuff, shirts, joggers. Check them out. Join the force over at Finley Hat. All right, you ready to get in to this tight end class that you apparently despise and that I apparently love?
I would see the running backs. I said 1 through 5. I'm cool with. It's really tight end 1 through 3 that I'm really cool with, and then I think from 4 to 8-ish could be anyone, and then anyone from 9 down.
Yeah, I do think the guys I really like the top 4, my top 4 guys. Then I think 5 through 12 kind of fall into the same bucket, but I like them. The screen shares back So there you can see our running backs. For those watching, my Google crashed, so it wasn't able to share the screen there. So anyone watching, there's the top 10 running backs. As we move on to our top 10 tight ends, my tight ends 10 through 6. At 10, I have Jack Endries from Texas, formerly of Cal. At 9, I have Michael Trigg from Baylor. At 8, I have Sam Roush from Stanford. At 7, Oscar Delp from Georgia. Just can't quit him. And at 6, I have Dallin Bentley from Utah.
Okay, yeah, you got Delp way higher than I do. I'm at 13, so I'm interested on that one.
Yeah, I still love him as a player. I'm still in on Oscar Delp.
Fair enough. No, I get it.
Let's hit him up with your 10 through 6.
All right, 10, I got Nate Borkacher from Texas A&M. 9, Joe Royer, Cincinnati tight end. 8, Dylan Bentley, Utah, who you had. 7. 7.
Yeah.
I was saying my 7, Jack Endries.
Okay.
You confused me. I'm like, what? No, 7, Jack Endries, Texas, who you have in your top 10. And then 6, Sam Roush, Stanford, who you also have in your top 10.
Yeah.
So I think we had 2 guys different on our top 10s.
So your 9, Joe Royer, is
he's your 5.
my number 5, and my 9,
okay,
I think is going to be in your top 5. So it's really just one guy. You had Borkacher, and I had
Nate Borkacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my top 5, at 5, I have Joe Royer from Cincinnati.
Nice.
At 4, I have Max Clare from Ohio State.
Oh.
At 3, I have Big Christmas, Justin Jolie, but we're going to constantly call him Jolly here because
we're calling him Jolly on this podcast,
Big Christmas, baby. Justin Jolly from North Carolina State. At 2, I have Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. And at 1, I have Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon.
Hell yeah. So we got one different in the top 5. My 5, he was in your top 10. It's Michael Trigg, Baylor's tight end. 4, Big Christmas, Justin Jolly, North Carolina State. 3, Max Clare, Ohio State. 2, Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt. And then 1 is Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon's tight end, who is... Eli Stroud and Kenyon Sadiq are both legitimate freaks of nature when it comes to like their combine performances and the way their athletic backgrounds, dude. I'm blown away by both of those kids, dude.
All right, let me talk about Joe Royer here, redshirt junior from Cincinnati. Big body, 6'5", 247, so he's got a good build. He's older prospect, 24. Huge hands, 96th percentile. Those watching can see he almost has 11-inch hands. He didn't do anything at the combine. Decent numbers. He's a 500, 400-yard guy. 7 touchdowns the last 2 years over at Cincinnati. I do see, I did it right, transferred from Washington. He actually transferred from Ohio State. I didn't correct that. Consensus right now is tight end 10, so we're both higher than consensus. You have him at 9, and I have him at number 5. But, I like Joe Royer.
He was fun.
Yeah,
he's a fun watch.
Yeah, I ended up liking the Cincinnati guys in general, the offensive pieces they had. He doesn't drop the ball. He had 0 drop rate, which was, he broke Travis Kelce's record for tight end catches at Cincinnati. Good blocker. I think that's kind of why I kind of valued him here at 5. Like, I think he's one of the better blocking tight ends in this group. He understands hand placement, leg drive, and he's a decent mover too. He is a former wide receiver, so that makes sense. But I do like his release package off the line of scrimmage. Obviously, he's a little older. Not a real twitchy mover. Good straight line, but it's kind of like Theo Johnson when you watched him at Penn State. Like, he couldn't move laterally, but straight line, he's fine. Let him run a straight line. He'll mow you over. But he's a physical player. I like his blocking ability, and I think that's just where he's just going to kind of why I had him in my top 5 is just his ability as a blocker. I think it's going to transition really well to the NFL on top of being like a really good receiver. Like, he is your prototypical tight end too, who can be a pass catcher when needed, but will do a decent amount of blocking.
Yeah, no, I would agree to that. He's like I said, any tight end from 4 to 8 or 9 in my books are all in like pretty much the same kind of bucket. And Michael Trigg was one of those guys you had, I think, at 9. I have him at 5. Yeah. Trigg's record-setting wingspan, catch radius to create enormous target window for quarterbacks, which you absolutely love. You see it in his wingspan, 84 inches, 100th percentile. His arms, 100th percentile. Big hands, dude. Like he's a freak, dude. I like this kid a lot. He moves with he's real fluid for a guy his size. He can shrink his hips and snap on his breaks. I like that. He wins vertically against linebackers, which I love. I think he's dangerous at almost every level of the route tree, and I think his best work comes like intermediate, kind of in the middle of the field, kind of just working like zone and whatnot. He high points the ball really, really well, which I love. He makes crazy catches outside of his frame, even. Good contact balance, I love. He grinds through arm tackles. He fights for yards. He's a dog. He has real speed for this position, like I said, and he like blows linebackers away, and he could even challenge some safeties too on like vertical seams. Alignment flexibility to line up pretty much anywhere on the field, slot, out wide, inside. I really like Michael Triggs. He's a little bit older as well. He's 23, kind of like Cincinnati's tight end. Mm-hmm. But like you said, I think he has like legitimate like tight end ability. He almost 700 yards this season for Baylor on 50 catches, 6 touchdowns, only 11 games, so it's not that many games, almost a touchdown in half of them. I like Triggs a lot, dude. So like I said, 4 through 9, same bucket. So I think these guys are very similar.
Yeah, kind of the opposite player of Joe Royer. He's really athletic. He's a good mover.
He's fast.
For those watching, you could see the wingspan, the arm length, 100th percentile on both. Like he almost has an 85-inch wingspan. Like he's got offensive line, like legitimate. Like his arms are bigger than Will Campbell, and really productive this year. He is consensus tight end 4, so we're actually both lower on him. You have him at 5, I have him at 9. But real good athlete. I do worry about his drops. He had some drop issues, and there was times where I didn't think he was, putting forth full effort.
The effort thing, yeah, I get that.
But yeah, super athlete. I think NFL teams are gonna like. He'd be the perfect counter, like for Baltimore with Mark Andrews. He'd be a perfect Isaiah Likely replacement for them. But yeah, the athletic prowess he has, like he is such a wow factor as a pass catcher. And you brought up the broken tackles. He faced 17 forced tackles. It's tough to bring down. Like he is a incredible build, but I just do worry about some of the the effort and
the reliability
drops.
thing. Yeah, he's definitely not as reliable, but I think he's got a higher ceiling, like with his athleticism, and he needs someone to light the fire for sure. Like consistently, he half-asses some plays, but when he does try, you see it, dude. He fights for yards. He's got that dog in him, just not all the time.
All right, let's move on to our top 4. Yeah, Justin Jolly, North Carolina State senior, 21 years old, 6'3.5", 241 pounds, not the biggest guy. Big hands though, 10.5 inches, 50th percentile arms. Didn't do any combine stuff. 2024 at NC State, 661 yards, 4 touchdowns. Casey Concepcion was on that team. Justin Joly led the team in receiving at 661 yards. This past year, not as great, 489 yards, but he did score 7 touchdowns. North Carolina State wasn't great this year though, so I don't let that harp on him too much. He is the consensus tight end 5, so we're both higher. You have him at 4. I have him at 3. He is a contested catch, dude.
Dude, he wins contested catches at a very high rate.
Yeah.
He's got really his body control is crazy.
Yeah, he added muscle since he's been in NC State, added over 35 pounds. So he's real chippy. Like he's not afraid to get involved, get his hands on you, push you around, at least attempt. Like he's not the best blocker, but he puts forth the effort to at least attempt. He's strong hands. 1 drop this past year. Yeah, I think as a receiver, like you could do some screen stuff with him. I think he moves linear really well. I think he could be a yards after catch guy, like I said last week, or during the mock madness when we brought him up. Like he reminds me of Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith is more of a receiver, but he has sort of developed more into a overall good tight end since getting into the league. But yeah, I think he's a good mover. I love him after the catch. Good hands, effort blocker, and then the contested catch stuff. He's going to bully you around, and I just love
Mm-hmm.
that aspect of his game.
No, I 100% agree, and I actually think that his pass protection stuff is surprisingly cleaner. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than I actually thought
Yeah,
it was.
it's good for his size.
That I'm giving it to him. Like, I think he can develop into a really nice chip blocker at the next level. Outstanding hands. I love his hands. He's super reliable. Wins contested catches at a high rate. His deep receiving grades are among the best of the tight end classes. Super smooth athlete. He can line up anywhere as well. Inline, slot, wide, backfield. He's a coordinator's favorite. He's gonna be so good. Like I said, I thought his pass protection was surprisingly clean. He's a legitimate red zone option too. He's got 11 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. I think he's just gonna be a really good tight end at the end of the day. Like everything you said, I'm in. He's a really good athlete. He's a really smart kid. He's getting better every single season. Well, he took a step back this season, but they played less games. He had more touchdowns though, more catches, just less yards.
It wasn't his problem. It was an NC State problem.
But I think he looked better this season on tape compared to 2024, even though he had more yards in 2024. But I thought he took every step that a tight end needs to take. And if he keeps taking steps like that, I think he's got a pretty bright future.
Yeah, he's going to make his way into my top 100. I have no doubts about that.
I dig that.
Yeah. Max Clare, Ohio State redshirt junior. Consensus tight end 3. That's where you have him. I have him at 4. 6'4", 246 pounds. 77 7/8 wingspan, 9.5-inch arms, 32 1/8 inch arms, 9 1/8-inch hands. There we go. I had that backwards. Transfer from Purdue. He was really good at Purdue. 685 yards, 4 touchdowns, focal point of that offense. Goes to Ohio State. Not as productive, 43 for 448 and 2, but we have to remember at Purdue, he was the number one option in the passing game at Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's just a guy there with, Cardell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, all these other weapons that they have with the Buckeyes that he doesn't become the focal point of the passing game, but super reliable as a pass catcher, really good route runner. Like he's probably the best route runner of this group.
I agree. I totally agree.
Like I said, extremely reliable underneath. He thrives in that 0 to 15 yard range. Gets leverage, moves linebackers. His blocking's really good. I thought he was a much better blocker at Ohio State than he was at Purdue. So I like that he improved there. He's not twitchy, not explosive, not super good athlete wise. I would like him to put on more weight. I think he has the frame to do so. I think that just would push him up to the next level. He's got that Zach Ertz element to him where he's just a good 10 yards a catch guy and he's just going to put in the work. And at the end of the day, he's going to be a really quiet, it wouldn't surprise me. We're whoa. Max Clare had 70 catches for 750 yards and 4 touchdowns this year. And didn't see that coming. But that's just kind of the player he is. I don't think he has a great ceiling, but I think he's a guy that has a long-standing career I love that he improved as a blocker, like I said. And, his short area work is really reliable that quarterbacks are going to love, if a young quarterback gets him, I think he's going to be their best friend. And we've brought up replacing Dalton Schultz. It's the perfect replacement for him in Houston.
I agree. And you compared him to Zach Ertz. I think that's a really good comparison. Zach Ertz, not every season was the best, but he had really good seasons consistently. And he also had a few elite seasons. There was a good stretch of time where Carson Wentz was Zach Ertz quarterback, and Wentz just trusted Zach Ertz with his life, and Zach Ertz was eating receptions for Philly. I think Max Clare could be very similar to that. He's a loose, fluid athlete who could run a full route tree. He bends at the top of every route, creating natural separation. He's a legitimate vertical threat, which you love. He climbs to the second and third level. You've seen it at Purdue. He had multiple chunk plays, big plays. He's a really good athlete. He turns up field really quick, which I love. He fights through arm tackles, the squeeze through extra yards. Reads zone coverage really, really well, and he's always finding soft spots in defenses. He used to play quarterback, so he knows where to sit. He knows how to read defenses. You love the quarterback background. I think he's going to be a chess piece almost for any type of coordinator. He can move around. He's fast. He's big. He can block. I think his pass protection from Purdue to Ohio State this season was a night and day difference. So yeah, he wasn't as used as much as a receiver in Ohio State's offense, but he gained a lot of knowledge. So I think he's a legitimate pass blocking tight end. I think he's a legitimate vertical threat tight end. There's not much about Max Clare's game that I really don't like and respect. So I really like Max Clare. I think he's going to be a second round pick that's going to be a really successful NFL player.
Hell yeah. Moving on to our tight end 2, also the consensus tight end 2.
Ooh.
Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt senior.
I'm not going to lie to you. I almost had him tight end 1.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I don't hate it. I see where you're coming from, because I think at like the end of the day, like if I'm doing, would I rather this guy and then get Eli Stowers in the second round, or I'd rather pick Sadiq and take this guy in the second? And I think I'd probably 90% of the time I would probably lean towards Stowers, but decent size, height wise, a little smaller, 240 pounds, 9 3/4 hands, but the testing, we brought it up previous when we dove in. 4'5", 140, 94th percentile. 159, 10-yard split, 94th percentile. 100th percentile broad and vert at 11 foot 3 inches and a 45.5 inch vert. 638 yards, 49 catches, 5 touchdowns. In 2024, he also had a passing touchdown, former quarterback. And then in 2025 at Vanderbilt, 62 for 769 and 4. Eli Stowers, like draft Twitter, I see a lot of negativity towards him. And like I get it, because he doesn't block. Like he's essentially just a big slot receiver.
Yeah.
You know who else is a big slot receiver? Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs in the second round should be looking at a way to get Eli Stowers. Even if they have to take him at 29, I wouldn't be mad about it, because he is the perfect kind of just plug it piece in behind Travis Kelce. Not saying he can be Travis Kelce. Let's not say that. But that vertical leap was a combine record for tight end, which you see that on tape. He's really good at high pointing the ball, natural hands catcher, really good in zone. You know, he knows where to sit, knows where to stay, just like Travis Kelce. Like his place, like you could tell he kind of, bases his game around what's made Travis really successful in Kansas City. The lean build is a concern, but like you can make it work. And then like the blocking, but like you're not going to put him as an inline blocker. That's not his game.
Exactly.
Like, he is what the NFL is kind of shifting into these athletic pass catching, big wide receiver like tight ends, and I'm in on Stowers. I don't understand the buzz negativity about him, because he's not a true tight end.
I don't like it.
I don't care whatsoever. I am willing to put he's going to be like a top 50, 55 player on my board. I am perfectly comfortable taking him in the second round. I think that's great value. At like Minnesota, I would love him to be with Hawkinson, or potentially replace Hawkinson if we want to move on from him. I think in the second round, a team is going to love the value he gets. I think he's going to be a really productive pass catcher in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. It's not identical to Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland coming out last year, because Sadiq and Strauss aren't the same athletes. But Sadiq's he could do a little bit of it all, and he's that kind of athlete. Like he can block way better than Strauss can. But I think Strauss is the kind of receiver that Colston Loveland is, and he's like that kind of game changer. And you've seen it late in the season when the Bears really let Colston Loveland like really shine. He had a lot of big down the field plays, and he was using as his athleticism to get past linebackers, get past safeties, because they weren't really ready for it. And I think Eli Strauss can bring that to a team. He covers ground really quick. He's got legitimate NFL speed. Like safeties have to respect it at the end of the day. It's not even like we can kind of play up and close. No, he will burn past you. Soft, reliable hands, and he adjusts really well to off-target throws. He breaks out of his routes really clean with really quick feet that give linebackers trouble keeping up. His catch radius is out of this world. He shows burst and awareness after the catch. He turns downfield really quick, and it's like every motion he does is with a purpose. Like he doesn't have wasted motion. He can line up anywhere, slot, wide out, in route, backfield. He's going to be impossible to game plan for. It's like, oh my God, how do we even stop this guy? What's he going to be doing today? And every single year in college, he has shown improvement, and that's what you love out of this kid. There's no regression. He hasn't gotten worse. every aspect of his game has improved every single year. I think the ceiling is limitless for him, to be honest. I'm probably going to have him really close to a top 40, maybe 30 player in his draft class.
Hell yeah.
I love Strauss at the end of the day. He's one of my favorite prospects.
Hell yeah. So I know who one of Nick's draft darlings is going to be. It's going to be the Stowers.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. And had Denver still had their first round pick at 30, I think he would have been great for Sean Payton. But yeah, like if he does sneak into round 1, I'm cool with it. I get it. Like the athletic profile is there in a class that's kind
perfectly.
Of bucket.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. No one's going to draft this kid to be the 6th offensive lineman or to sit him down and block. Any offensive, like, fundamental coach, any coach that knows what they're doing is going to know how to fit him into their offense and game scheme around him. He is that, like, chess piece, that joker that can be used very well if a team knows how to use him. And I think if he falls into, like, let's say Kansas City, Sean Payton, the Chargers with Mike McDaniel, like, there are a lot of coaches out there that will know how to use this kid properly, and I think that the ceiling is limitless. I think he could be an easy top 10 tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, I love his game, so I respect it. All right, let's round it out. Number 1 tight end, Kenyon Sadiq Jr. from Oregon.
He's good.
Yeah, 6'3", 3.1 inches. They had to put that 0.1 in.
That 0.1, baby.
Yeah. 241 pounds. He's 21 years old. 10-inch hands. 4.39 40, 100th percentile. 1.54 10-yard split, 100th percentile. His vert and his broad, 94th percentile, 43.5, 11'1". Oh, no big deal. Also had 26 bench reps at 250 pounds. 560 yards, 51 catches, 8 touchdowns this past year at Oregon, becoming the guy. He was the number 1 tight end there.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're going to have another tight end probably next year who's also really good. In 2024, he backed up Terrence Ferguson. And he was, at times, I was watching Ferguson, I'd be like, man, this 18 dude is good. And it was Sadiq.
He's good, yeah.
And watching Sadiq, I felt the same way about, I think it's Jeremy Johnson, the other tight end there. But we have come off negatively at times about Kenyon Sadiq. And that's because we don't see him how... Like, he's not this generational tight end.
He's not Brock Bowers. He's not
Brock Bowers. He's
Loveland.
not Tyler Loveland. He's not Colston Loveland. Exactly. But he's good. Like, I don't have a first-round grade on him.
Good. Yes.
He is, but in this class, I don't have a lot. I have 17 first-round graded guys, and I have Sadiq at, like, 24. So he's right on the cusp there. He's in that 20 to 24 range, but, like, he's a high-end second-round guy, and he absolutely should go round 1. Don't hear what I'm not saying. The speed's there. Generational speed. Good after the catch. You could play him in the slot. You can even put him at, lead block, fullback, in line. His blocking's not great, but he's a willing and effort blocker. It's just the technique is really raw. But he puts forth the effort, and he'll grow. He's still 21. But the line of versatility I like, a good receiver, though he did have focus drops at times. And I know Tom McShay came out with a report that there were, like, some issues that, like, hey, effort-wise, like, maybe this guy's better as a backup now that he's had the job, but he's not putting forth as much work. And that seemed to light a fire. After McShay put out that report, Sadiq went on a run where it's just like, oh, there he is. That's the dude. So it's there. So, like, that's a concern. And teams and interviews are going to bring that up. Like, hey, what happened here? Like, why were you such a slow start to the year when Oregon was doing really good? Like, why weren't you the focal point of this offense that doesn't really have experienced wide receivers? So, but his game does translate to the NFL, and I get taking him in the top 15, but, like, I've seen people pushing him at 9 to Kansas City. I'm not there. I don't think he's a top 10 guy. I don't think he's a generational tight end, but mid to late first round, that's the sweet spot for him. Like, we've mocked him to Carolina. I think that's a good get for the Panthers. Everybody wants to give him a wide receiver. No, let's get him a tight end. Let's get him a guy here to develop with these wide receivers who we brought up. We like their receiver room. So he's good. He's a good football player. He's a good prospect.
Yes,
he's just not
good.
We just don't see him as this generational dude that some are trying to hype him up to be, because we've had so many great tight ends come out in the last 3 to 4 years.
Yep. Yeah, there's been a really good stretch of tight ends that are coming out of college. And at the end of the day, he is good. And he could be one of those kids, but it's not a guarantee thing. He is a lot of projecting to where, like, you could watch Brock Bowers play at Georgia and you instantly knew Bowers was going to be that guy. You watched Tyler Warren play at Penn State. You watched Colston Loveland play at Michigan, and you knew instantly right off the rip that these kids were going to be special. Sadiq has a lot of more. He's got a lot of question marks compared to those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
His combine speed was insane. That's legitimate first round receiver speed. So you love to see that. His vertical and broad jump numbers are insane, and they just confirm what we've already seen. Like he's
incredible
quick.
athlete.
Yeah, he's got a quick twitchy feet, really quick off the line. He gives good break. He's got really good separation against man coverage due to his speed. No linebacker can keep up with him, and there's going to be very few NFL linebackers that can keep up with him. It's not just college kids. Really strong hands when it's like under contact, which you love. Like when he's getting hit by a safety, he's going to come down with the ball and it's going to be clean, and he uses his hands to catch the ball instead of letting it get to his body, which I do love. He tracks the ball super naturally, especially over like back shoulder stuff and sideline fades. He's probably got the best body control and adjustment in the tight end class. He makes catches look effortless. It's insane. Oregon lined him up legitimately in every spot on the field across the season. So he's another joker kind of tight end. And that's what I like about all like the top three kids, or maybe even Jolie. And you could just move these kids around. Like there's so much versatility to these top four kids in this class in my eyes, that they are all special tight ends and where they can be played and what they can do. They're not traditional. I'm going to sit you down, I'm going to block, and we're going to kind of just like check it down to, these are kids that can like stretch and be all vertical threats. The two touchdowns versus Penn State in the Big Ten championship were crazy, dude. Like he's good. He's a really good, he's an amazing athlete. He shattered the combine record for 40, and it shows. A 4.39 is insane for a 40 time when you're 6'3.1" and 241 pounds. Like he's a gifted athlete at the end of the day. He's got a lot more question marks than people are really crediting him right now, but I do like his game, and I think it's going to translate well to the NFL. It's just that I think Stowers is on par with him almost when it comes to like pure football talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sadiq's still raw. He's 21. He's still growing. Like he's going to develop, and like that's why we have him because he's so young, and like the room is there for him to grow.
Yes.
Yeah, yep. Like he should improve on the route running. He'll get better with blocking with more reps. Like that's what kind of puts him over Stowers as well. Like you can play Sadiq in line. You're not putting Stowers on the line of scrimmage. He'll get mollywopped by NFL linemen, but Sadiq, he could hold his own. He's a willing blocker, but despite the frame, he needs polishing on his technique. But he's just not generational, and that's where we are with him.
And that's okay. That's completely okay.
Generational.
Not every tight end has to be generational tight end, dude. So like, it happens, man. Like we don't have to give like Jeremiah Love generational. He's a generational running back. We don't have to like if the top kid at every skilled position coming out does not have to be a generational talent.
Exactly.
It's just not the case, and it's okay. Yep. Sadiq is a really good tight end prospect at the end of the day.
Yep. All right, there's our top 10 tight ends. Quick recap: at 10, I have Jack Endries from Texas. 9, Michael Trigg from Baylor. Sam Roush from Stanford at 8. Oscar Delp from Georgia at 7. Dallin Bentley from Utah at 6. Joe Royer, Cincinnati at 5. Max Clare, Ohio State at 4. Justin Jolie, NC State at 3. Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt at 2. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon at 1. And then the one that was in your top 10, not mine, Nate Borkacher. I had him at tight end 15.
Yeah, I got Oscar Delp at tight end 13, so right outside my top 10. 10, Nate Borkacher, Texas A&M. 9, Joe Royer, Cincinnati, who you had at 6, I believe, or
5.
something like that. 5, yeah,
5.
top 5. Dylan Bentley at 8, Jack Endries, Texas at 7, Sam Roush, Stanford at 6, Michael Trigg, Baylor 5, Big Christmas, Justin Jolie, North Carolina State at 4, 3, Max Clare, Ohio State, 2, Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt, and then 1, Kendrick Sadiq. But like I said, dude, I think the top 4 kids they're good. They're good. 5 through 9, same kind of bucket. It's a good tight end class. I just don't think it's it's not great.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. It's passable.
I think there's a lot of depth. Like I love the top 4 guys. I think they're kind of like Stowers and Sadiq. They're the Sadiq's slightly above in his own tier. Stowers is in his own tier, and then Claire and Jolie I'd have in a tier, and then like Royer, Bentley, Delp, Roush, Trigg,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple guys after them, Marlon Klein, Daquan Wright from Ole Miss, Nate Borkcher. They kind of all in their own bucket as well, where they could be 4th to 6th round guys, any of them. Like they could go anywhere in that range. Like I think there's a lot of depth and just a lot of good football players at the end of the day. Like they might not blow up headlines and make names for themselves, but I think there's a lot of good like tight end 2s.
Yeah.
And that's becoming a really valuable position. A lot of teams are running more 2 tight end. Shoot, the Rams are running 3 tight ends all the time. So I think the tight end 2 position is becoming a little bit more valuable. But there you go. Those are our top 10 running backs and our top 10 tight ends here on this second Couch Scout episode. Shoot us your list. Throw them down in the comments who you think is, if you think Kenyon Sadiq's generational, tell us why you think that. Or, anybody on the list that we didn't have that you pounding the table for as a top 10 dude, running back or tight end. Throw them in, and I'll let you know how we feel about them. But anything else before we jump on out of here?
No, I think we're good. But no, I think there's a lot of good tight end 2s in this class for sure. So I'll give you that. And a couple tight end 1s. I think Claire could be a tight end 1. Stowers, Sadiq, Jolly at the end of the day could all be tight end 1s if given the shot. Yeah. Everyone go see Project Hail Mary this weekend. It's a football movie. Hail Mary, Ryan Gosling.
Hail Mary, it's got to be a football movie.
It's gotta be a football movie.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. So
what a score. I'm going to see it tomorrow night with a group of friends. I'm thrilled, dude. I'm so hyped.
I can't wait to hear what you think about
it. Packed IMAX theater, dude. It's gonna be a legitimate experience. Like I'm thrilled. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. Not football related, but go to the movies. Support your movie theaters. Go.
Podcast related, another movie, Undertone, also a really good horror movie. It's a little podcast, John.
Yeah.
Just go support cinema. Yeah. Go support local cinema.
Yep. Yeah. I don't even care if it's a blockbuster film. Go support it. Go support the movies. I don't care if it's
hell yeah.
It's supposed to make $1 billion. Just go see it. Go see it, or small independent films. Support all sorts of cinema, not streaming services. Don't get your new releases from streaming. Just go to the movies.
I agree. Go enjoy it. Yeah. Go sit down in the theater.
We'll get off our soapbox now. It's the Drafted Up podcast. This podcast is about football, not movies. But we do love
Project Hail Mary.
We do love cinema. Those are our top 10 running backs and tight ends. Let us know what you thought in the comments. We'll be back Tuesday. Mock Madness, 2 more divisions. We'll run through them, and then another Couch Scout on Thursday. For Nick, I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.